In climate change adaptation, the second unit, observed changes in the climate and its causes. Now I will come to the third module, climate changes in India. The evidences of changes in climate and environment on a global scale in India. Actually, most of the climate change documentation we have seen before were based on the information collected from different international organizations, either by United Nations or US or Europe or Australia or UK. However, this is the first time the climate status of India is presented to the Indian government through the Ministry of Earth Sciences. The assessment of climate change over Indian regions. So this is downloadable from net one, we can go through that. So a compilation of many of these papers, publications by individual experts in these fields covering the climatic status in India, specific India. So since the first time India has released its own national report on the state of the climatic crisis and takes a very close look at where we stand regarding long-term changes in climate patterns and the attendant risks. The report also describes the observed changes in the future projection of precipitation, temperature, monsoon, drought, sea level rise, tropical cyclones, extreme weathers and events. All this are covered in this report. Interesting, the report reveals that the local climate change influenced not only by the increase in greenhouse gases but also the increase in the air pollution and the local changes in the land use pattern. Land use pattern means change in the agricultural activities to habitation or deforestation of forest or construction of massive dams and so forth. They are land use pattern changes. So this land use pattern changes and the air pollution are also major contributors in the climate change, not only greenhouse gases. So let's see some of the findings as presented in this report. Rising temperature. So in last 18 years, the temperature has risen by 0.7 degrees centigrade, which is mostly normal. 0.7 degrees centigrade by and large in last 118 years, it is only 0.7 degrees centigrade. But the problem is that in 2100, the average temperature would rise by 4.4 degrees centigrade. This is very crucial. So the 118 years is rising only 0.7 degrees centigrade. Now we are expecting in 50 years to get 4.4 degrees centigrade. This is very crucial. We already discussed in Paris conference findings. The university decided to keep the planetary temperature rise to maximum 1.5 degrees to avoid the disastrous consequences. And that is 4.4 degrees centigrade. We are expecting. In India, we are talking now. So by the end of 21st century, average temperature of India is projected to rise approximately 4.4 degrees relative to the recent past. To the 1976 to 2005 average, the rise of the temperature largely account of GHG induced warming. So the major contributors is greenhouse gases, main culprit, like elsewhere. What are the consequences? Summer heat waves would occur 3 to 4 times more frequently by 2100. This should also alter the monsoon patterns, intensity and the onset timing of the monsoon, as well as the more number or high frequency intensity of the droughts. We'll also see more closely what happens to the rainfall pattern next slide. Here you see in last 65 years, that is 1951 to 2015, the summer monsoon has already been decreased by 6%. that too in major agro-productive zones of the country like in Indo-Gangetic plains and Western Ghat. Now the dry spells or abnormally long dry weather has also increased 27% more in recent 30 years, that is 1981 to 2011 compared to the previous 30 years, 1951 to 1980. The localized heavy rainfall, which is also called cloudburst, has also increased. Recently, we have such type of severe cloudburst in Uttaranchal, Chennai, Mumbai, and several regions in the country. But suddenly there will be a short period of very heavy rainfall, causing major disasters. It also predicted that daily extreme rainfall would also increase. This sporadic shower would cause flood calamity, yet hardly contributing to agriculture because rain is there, a lot of rain is there, but at one time only. So agriculture is not getting benefit because it needs water at different times. A sustainable precipitation pattern is required. And so such irregular rainfall would result in flood on one side and on another side will cause to droughts. Thus drought intensity has already shown significant decrease during last 60-70 years. Because rainfall decreased 60-70 years, so drought intensity has already increased due to significant decrease in rainfall, especially in areas like central India, southwest coast, southern peninsula and northeastern India, where there have been more than 2 droughts in every 10 years. Also, it reported that during 60-70 years, the total area under the drought has increased by 1.3%. Now we'll see what report says about sea level rise. Here you see that since last 130 years, say 1874 to 2004, sea level has been risen to 1.06 to 1.75 millimeter every single year, which means a total increase of 137.8 to 227.5 millimeter. However, it projected that by 2100 it is likely to rise by 300 millimeter more compared to the average rise during the 1986 to 2005, which is 180 millimeter, thus making 300 plus 180, so 480 millimeter or 48 centimeters. What is the meaning? 100 centimeter is 1 meter, so 48 centimeter, almost half a meter. Half a meter rise is sufficient to encroach the huge coastal tracts and islands of the country, thus threatening the survival of huge population dotting around the huge coastlines of our country. Now let's look at the cyclone, tropical cyclones. We see there have been more number of severe cyclone, especially during the post-monsoon periods, with one additional for 10 years, thus making additionally 7 to 8 cyclones in last 70 to 80 years. We are witnessing how every now and then there are increasing frequency of intensive cyclones we are seeing. Almost every year we are seeing so many cyclones are taking place from Tamil Nadu, from Odisha, and you are finding plenty of cyclones every single year coming up. Let's explore for the climate change on Himalayas. This is a physiographical map of India, especially Himalayan range, where you can see Hindu Kush towards the northeast, mostly located in Afghanistan, but the Karakoram range located in northern India. Most of the climatic studies were focused about these two mountain ranges because these two have major contribution in the climatic patterns in India, especially northern India. In Hindu Kush Himalayas, the temperature rise is about 1.3 degrees during 1951 to 2014. However, the problem is that in the area previously there used to be high snowfalls, but during the recent years the frequency and magnitude of the snowfall episodes have reduced. This means glaciers would melt more, thereby causing more floods as well as sea level rise. On the other hand, near the Karakoram, there has been increase in snowfall than before, and hence it has been somewhat more protected compared to Hindu Kush with regard to climatic perturbations. As per the predictions, the mean surface temperature of Hindu Kush Himalayan range is going to be 5.2 degrees centigrade by 2100, which was 1/4 of the temperature rise during 1951 to 2014, the 1.3% degree centigrade. So little sum up. So I have discussed how there is rise in temperature, rise in seawater, increase in cyclone and droughts, and how there have been continuous reduction in the monsoon precipitations. And this report emphatically proclaims that these regional climatic changes are instrumental in the changes in the prevailing climatic patterns, and this trend is likely to continue unless intervention is made. It is crucial to have accurate futuristic projections to monitor the climate change as well as effect of remedial approaches. For these strategic approaches for our understanding of the earth systems, functionalities and improving the observation are essential. Thank you.